When the game stops improving, when your friends stop playing, when you no longer enjoy it, when do you let go? When do you move on? When do the shackles release? Was the game the problem, or was it you? I'd forgotten to have my own tastes, my own thoughts, guided by people online. When did we listen to others more than ourselves? I think I'd forgotten the euphoria of simply adventuring. I was busy pushing towards completing things, reaching the end game, rather than just simply exploring. So I picked something new to endeavor, something to break the cycle. I tried Warframe. I'd heard of it, briefly looked at it, but I hadn't felt it. I think I was hesitant to try. Once burned, twice shy. But I'd only tried it once for 45 minutes, over 10 years ago. Not a fair assumption to hold to the past that no longer exists. And the game is far and away a different adventure than when I first tried it. A free-to-play looter shooter when it is so much more than that. I came in expecting 1/10 of what I came across. I was blown away. The sheer proportion of content and playability for a free-to-play game. Now let me just clear the bad air out. There are microtransactions within, but none of them are mandatory. None of the expansive systems or story additions. Not the battle pass that's free for all. Rather than pay to win, I'd say it's a pay to speed up progress, which you don't even have to do. It's truly a commitment to everything being available, the only price being the time available to you. As soon as I loaded into my first mission, it was an instant feeling of bliss. I felt like a noob again. I felt free. Being able to glide across the missions with ease, speeding across the terrain by sliding and jumping, even skipping enemies along the way. It just felt natural. As if I'd been a free-flow parkour expert my entire life. And the next thing was the weapons. I assumed average gunplay, simple pick up and shoot things, with no weight to what's in your hands. Oh, but it was so much more than that. I remember when I first tried out the game, I used the Ninja Weeb starter pack, the katana and kunai back in my hands. It wasn't sticking to me then, but compared to now, I felt a lot more comfortable. Maybe I'd gotten better at games. Maybe the sunglasses on inside had skewed my vision. Maybe I was just trying to justify an escape. From bare bones to now. 10 years ago is the problem. The weapons, the variety, the style. My eyes had started to open. The sheer amount of different weapon types alone. Bows, rifles, pistols, shotguns, snipers, ballistas, lasers, gunblades, launchers, swords, whips, hammers, daggers, kunai, glaives, spears, claws, fisticuffs, machetes, nunchucks, tonfas, polearms, rapiers, knives, staves, and glaives. Each weapon had a unique feel to them. Heavy ones feeling chunkier, melee weapons feeling willfully adaptable, slashing through droves while even having combos. There are even weapons which have better versions of themselves, but that's probably for somebody else to delve into. Let's not forget the big bolster to these weapons: mods. I'd say this is the pinnacle of Warframe's innovations. Mods are truly what make your weapons shine. They vary in usability, some are only meant for specific weapons, whereas some are just meant for general use. Now these mods aren't just stuck to the sticks and stones, mind you. They can be tempered and placed onto frames, and companions too. Damage, duration, durability, the possibility of builds are 1,000-fold. Now you might be thinking, oh, that means I'm gonna have to grind a lot and really fight to get these mods. No, not really. They can be attained from random drops, daily logins, directly from bosses, but most of them you can even trade through other players. It's something I haven't really delved into myself, I was being guided along by some of the kind and helpful veterans of the Warframe community. Which brings me to the next stop, the community. How kind and welcoming everybody has been. As soon as I first started streaming and playing, people had tips, showing up as if I was a spectacle, a kid taking off the training wheels, a new player dipping their feet into the celestial pool. I was quite taken back with the kindness, to be honest. Never has a player base really struck me this early. Praise, endearment, encouragement, just for trying the game out. Some going even as far to gift me some frames and a starter pack for mods, just for getting a little further in the game. It was at this point I knew I was just smitten. Good gameplay, good community, good times. Now that was really left for me to ponder the story. Now, from the beginning, I was still a bit confused as to what was happening. There was no dragging me into current story missions, no roadblocks on what I had to do in order to play. There was only a small box on the navigation screen saying new quest, an entrance guide to progress the story. But knowing me, I wanted to clear every path set before me. So I started blasting, and I mean blasting. Every node I saw, I was loading in and just getting it done. Now you aren't just limited to missions. There are open world environments, each breathtaking in its own right. And this was still within my first few hours of gameplay. Now, not forgetting about the star chart, that's where the magic happens. Each node being a point on the system, each planet having several nodes, each one being a different mission type, and easily being sorted into over 30 different types of missions. The early ones I came across were exterminations, excavations, hijacking, defense, disruption, captures, assassinations, rescues, survivals, spies, and sabotages. And there are surely other variations of these also set across the stars. And having them set across a planet really helps vary the gameplay. You don't seem to be stuck to just doing one thing for the next 35 minutes. The easiest types of these missions probably being the exterminate missions. Just in and out within a few minutes, mindlessly slaughtering your enemies. The sheer beauty of the clearing speed, that was something that really sold me on early. It felt right to be able to slingshot through, bounce and ebb, uninterrupted along the environment. Oh, I forgot I was meant to talk about the story. There's a lot of setup and foreshadowing going on early. I'll skip out on really spoiling the entire narrative, or at first I was truly oblivious. It wasn't until around 15 hours in, I realized I could go back and do the tutorial mission. I wanted to know what I had missed, and I was immediately greeted with a spectacular cutscene. Delightful high narrative storytelling, great visual, good sounds. It really set the tone for what to expect, and I really should have started here. It wasn't even a thing when I had started the game back in 2014. The tutorial was pretty standard stuff. Basic movement mechanics, weapon usage, ability usage, and battling against our first big op, Captain Vor. This sets us out on our journey. The missions I had already been doing, putting crosshairs on Vor, freeing ourselves from his grasp. A pretty direct line of quests leading us to an assassination mission where you face off against him. Not quite difficult enough for a gamer like myself. Not that it's meant to be especially difficult. It is the starter boss you have to face. Now, if you want to skip any of the extensive lore and spoilers, please go to this timestamp here. Now it really started to hit the ground running right from Vox Solaris. Once awake and the heart of Deimos. He's really helped to stir the plot of the Warframe universe. I hamster wheel started turning, the cogs churning power. I try to be brief with each one. Vox Solaris, a dystopian society where the rich even sell the parts of its workers. A fight for freedom. We set out to ignite the Solaris United Rebellion against the Corpus Plutocraft Nefagno, landing to a wonderful song as we enter Fortuna. Next we were faced with Once Awake, an infested nightmare of amalgamations, an experiment by the Grineer into bioweaponry. It sets down to us to try and rid the galaxy of this infestation. Then came the true mind-blower, the heart of Deimos. An ancient city lying dormant within, infested trying to seize control of the planet's power. Our power. There's a heart in the center of this place. And if that falters, even the Tenno lose their power. Which it so came to be. A rogue necromech damages the heart, and it's a fight. For us to escape the pit. No guns, no abilities. A glimpse of the future. This pits our family to fight back to the heart and restart it. Next we find some mysterious drones, revealed to be connected to Natar. Covering the truth, we find that Lotus, a mother, is actually Natar, a sentient who played a key role in the old war. It's here we find out her past and the relationship with the Orokin, including her infiltration of their ranks, and her choice to protect the Tenno. In doing so, we find out things about ourselves, and we uncover the reservoir, which is where our true form is found, the operator. I knew something was going on, but I didn't realize this was a mech game. Piloting suits of flesh to become stronger, which was no longer just space pirate ninjas, it was space pirate magic psychic ninjas. This is where we come face to face with the Spectre, Hun Hao's pawn, and after defeating him here, we get to customize our own operator. Next we really delve into the operator's past in The War Within. We track down a mysterious energy, only to find Teshin, somewhat of a mentor to us. He orders us not to follow on to this mysterious signal we've been finding, but follow we do, and it brings us face to face with the Grineer Queens. Here we find out that Teshin has been a double agent this entire time, and our Warframe is captured. From here we cannot use our frame, we are solely playing as the operator. Journeying through visions and memories, we begin to understand our origins, confront our inner fears, and unlock the true depth of our void powers. culminating in the ability to control our operator form more freely in usual gameplay. I honestly thought being out of our frames was going to be more of a slog, but it was quite endearing, and it really brought a tragic backstory to our operator. And we truly came to know this is what we are. One of the funnier messages that popped up was, after clearing the second dream, someone typed in, "Hey look, a new Tenno has cleared the tutorial." I've been playing for over 30 hours at this point, and you're telling me I've just started to play for real? Usually this is where everybody else might pack up, but not me. Who the hell do you think I am? We evolve beyond the person we were a minute before. Little by little, we advance with each turn. This was my awakening, my war within. And then I also found out that there's another point people tell you is the real starter point. After the new war. Well, I've got copious amounts of time to hand over. I won't go into too much depth over the next few quests. I think it's better to truly experience them yourself. But the revelations that come through the apostasy and sacrifice truly changes the dynamic for our team. The lore thickens, the stars align, and the stage is set. Our family is broken apart. Mother has abandoned us. The drums of war sound once again. Through the pre-war, you're hit with a bunch of cutscenes and interactable cutscenes, which are more like a lore dump. These really set the stage for the new war about to begin. And thus it does. We're thrust into different characters throughout this arc. Depending on how quick we are, it should take around 4 to 6 hours. I gotta tell you, what a different experience. This whole time I felt like I was playing an entirely distinct game. Minions following your actions, railjack missions, cut in with some brilliant storytelling, and more red herrings than a fisher's market. I got thrown off of any hint of scent with which the direction the game was going. New styles of play, interactive flashbacks, concepts of eternalism and multiverse. We are in the now. But things happening now were also happening then. If we're in the now, and then is now, was this all the product of a handshake? The void holds many secrets. Things I have yet to know, and things I have yet to comprehend. And to me, the game expanded once again. The small pocket of adventures I had started was only the beginning. I almost felt exhausted at this point. I completed the new war within one sitting. Learning the intricate lore and why things came to be. It wasn't a bad feeling of exhaustion, but I think I could have spread it out a bit more. More than that, it felt exhilarating to know the truth, to have the wool removed from my eyes. My tiny little brain couldn't comprehend it all at first. I had to lay down after playing and just absorb it all. It had been a long time since a game I'd played had really made me not think about any other game. I think that's why I needed to make this video. Now, I'm sure there are things I missed out on the story-wise, but I wanted that to be something that others experience for themselves.
Something just happened.
Now, what did I miss? I know I'm missing something. Oh, the frames! How can we forget about the frames? Can I talk to you about the frames? The very namesake of the game, with over 100 frames, each with their own unique style and abilities. Some being in since day one, some coming out just last week. Normal, Prime, Umbra, tanks, supports, assassins, mages. We've got more than enough variations to play with. Each frame having its own backstory, representing a history of weapons controlled by our Tenno. I got gifted early on with Temple, and I was enamored by just how easily I liked the gameplay. Threading on a guitar to decimate my enemies, the simple mechanics, the style, I truly felt like Ziggy Stardust. I think this really set a goal for myself that I want to try collecting all the frames. I am a sucker for collections. And up to this point, I've collected 9 frames. I don't think I'll be stopping. But let's not beat around the bush here either. Fashion seems to be a high point of the game. Many people messaged me early on showing off their styles, their builds, and exactly what I had to look forward to. I think it's time for a Dripframe catwalk, along with my first impressions. This is Exodia. It is, give me 1 second. It's quite cool. I like the aura coming. Aura coming up. 40k, Emperor of Mankind. This one's quite like Spectre. As if the armor's come alive. Like the jet, like wings. Oh wow. Now that I really like. Oh god, the soul's escaping from the floor. That's really cool. It gives me Dr. Manhattan vibes when he was still trying to form himself. It's so good. Similar to the other one. But this is more... I like it. Like bones brought back. What was the helmet of that? Okay. Face off. I get very corrupt tech priest from 40k on this one. That back piece is amazing. And I just realized it's like a deathcore ballerina almost. Damn. Little flail. This reminds me of Lu Bu for some reason. You know what just flashed in my head for a second there seeing this one? All Might. Even though it's not like All Might. Oh, this definitely gives like full-on Kamen Rider. This gives off that like that impression you're not getting past me. Guard gate. God, the designs on armor are so intricate. At the same time, I'm getting like an Admiral vibe. But like, whoa. The pattern effect up here, I really like. Gives off Ogre vibes from Tekken 3. True Ogre, I should say. It's very reminiscent of like a Native American headband. Everybody just sending me their fashion. Is this fashion framed now? Liberty Prime. If you know, you know. Kitty Hora. Whoa. Very pink. Pink. Can't even say colors. I think a tweak on some of these colors could make it pop more. I still like it how it is, but one of these colors needs to change to suit the others. Oh. We're all crawled out of the depths type thing. Oh, what is the effect? It's like water rising up on it. That's amazing. Destiny could never. Like a thundering dragon head. Turned into a human form or something. I like the black and gold. Oh, if you could somehow make the white on the helmet gold to offset, that would be a good mercy. The only thing for me on this one is the back piece, where it's different from all the rest. If you could somehow change the color palette on the back piece, the like tail thing, I think it might be better. Even if you suit it to cut like to the hair more, I think that would be pristine. But it's still good even with it. Oh, Aerith if she was a frame. I like this one. The colors don't strike you so much, but they suit each other. It's almost like a flag entirely. It's almost like a blade attached to the head. Chainsaw Man. Siren Prime. God, spider arms again. That is a symbiote. Just carnage. Oh. This reminds me of a Pokemon, this one. What's the Eevee evolution with all the tails and the ribbons? I can't even think of that Pokemon right now, but it would probably be that closest thing to me. Or it's from Digimon, Renamon. It suits Renamon more, I think. Oh god, Call of Duty reference. That's an Apex reference. This is really cool though. Oh, it's giving Minos Prime, like from Ultra Kill for me. If one of the angels lost its wings ages ago. I really like the insignia on the back just spinning. That weapon is sick as well. I'd probably rock something like that. Yeah. Whoa. It's alive. I can't unsee this one for the head, where it's almost like a pog face. That's got to be a thing, right? Oh, this is without the. This is with the flared Gemini skin. Okay. You know what? I just realized what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to get the flared Gemini skin for Temple eventually, and I'm gonna have to make Astarion. I can see it already. Sort of reminds me of something, and I can't think of what it is. I like the red blue mixing in. Oh my god, it's 88 miles per hour. Back to the Future reference. It kind of does look like the car transformed. I like that one. Let's look at Verona. Oh, this looks exactly like it's very reminiscent of Deathwing, Devil May Cry. Oh, yeah, I can see the Dante's Devil Trigger on that one. This fits really well with everything else because of that. I think you could probably push this one a bit darker, especially with Devil May Cry 5. His Devil Trigger form is really dark now. And I haven't even touched onto some of the other things that the game has to offer. Archwings, railjacks, PvP. You're telling me we get to control our own flying apparatus? Underwater, in the vacuum of space, and shoot enemies? Sign me up. And then we even have our own spaceship? Traversing big open space sections, boarding other ships, shooting down crafts? I was sold. Absolute cinema. Now, to my surprise, the majority of people don't seem to enjoy all of that. I did ask around and it seemed to just be a bit of lack of content and repetitiveness. Not much variations in terms of missions. I'm still in the new phase, so I understand it's probably the varnish of, oh, this is brand new, you're gonna love this. But to me, it still weighs down on my conscience, and I think there's a lot of fun to be had. And for now, it's still a great change of pace from normal missions. I just love being able to pilot the cosmos in my own ship. Something else I totally forgot, customization. Your ship, your weapon, your frames. Not to mention you can even have guild houses, which are called dojos. And the systems in that are so extensive, I literally got lost my first time venturing around. Now the game isn't without its own gripes. I think there are a few things that really should be changed or altered in some way. Mastery rank being one of the things. It has been quite easy to get mastery ranks, but I think instead of being tied to leveling up frames and weapons, it should really be more tied to your star chart progression. Whereas you do get some XP for clearing the star chart, it's not nearly enough to get you to the higher levels of MR. I think also in the same way that mods are great, they don't really teach you how to use them that well. Granted, there is a current system in there for auto adding mods to your weapons, frames, etc. This helps early on, but this isn't really a good way to push forward on to harder content. I think it could be upgraded in several ways, perhaps being orientated towards DPS builds, tanking, and supporting. Another thing I noticed, which might not have been a problem for me, but it might be a problem for others going forward, especially if they're trying to play solo, the early missions that force you into solo. If you don't really know the direction you're going to be stuck. Some of the content doesn't seem easy to do, especially not if you don't have the right damage types. And lastly, some of the bugs that I came across, they force you to restart the game. Now this isn't something that consistently happened, but it did happen a few times, which slowed my progress a bit. I'm still thinking about the new war. It completely changed how I viewed the game. It was an entirely different experience than the previous 45 hours I had just been through. It was almost as if I had watched the season of a TV drama. And I felt transformed. Like I'd undergone the weight of my character's psyche. I think I finally found something that respects the time I put in. And with the appropriate reward to match it. So, do I recommend Warframe? It wasn't apparent already from the length of this video. I'm already hooked. And at this point, I've already reached MR9. I've completed the new war. And soon enough, I'll complete the next stages of quests. For the first time in a long time, I was smiling at a game without expecting anything back. And I'll reiterate one of my earlier points. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to give it a try. Got hundreds, if not thousands of hours of content, and I'm finding it really fun. Solo, co-op. The systems that seem difficult and information that you get simply just becomes second nature. Now, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Maybe you have a similar love of a game. Maybe you think it's super grindy and are prone to burnout. Maybe you tried it in an earlier state. To me, I think it might be the perfect time to hop in. If you love loot, if you love guns, if you love movement, if you love equal time and effort for the equal rewards, you've got the freedom to try. PlayStation, Xbox, Twitch, PC, you name it, you can play it. Cross-save, cross-platform, they've got you covered. Warframe. Ninjas play free.